Hey everybody, how's it? Aloha, this is Jeeves here. Good morning. Every day until my 1-year anniversary, November 11th, I'm going to try to do one video here on the Decomposer Lounge. And so, help me through the journey. I need coffee. But part of the journey is also drifting through different genres. Right now I'm in post-rock week, and I'm noticing after yesterday, the band that I did yesterday, going through some other post-rock suggestions and stuff. This is a very mellow, I guess, style of music, but there are other bands out there I've got to check out. I think I'm going to circle back to ISIS and some things, but this has got more of an emotional kind of type of composition and stuff like that. So this band right now, Mogwai was probably the number one suggested, one of the top 3. And this track I'm doing is Take Me Somewhere Nice. Excuse me. So thank you guys for hanging out like usual. Want to buy me a cup of coffee? Try to do one every day before November 18th, because after November 18th it all stops. I'll tell you what that means a little later. Anyhow, link for the cup of coffee downstairs, link for the headsets downstairs, down below the description. And link for my Patreon if you want to check that out. Will also be down there. All right, let's do this. Mogwai, Take Me Somewhere Nice. All right. Maybe this is another track that doesn't have vocals in it, but that's fine by me. Beautiful layers, great textures, and for me, being a composer's media and also the start of my life, and everything I know about music is based around strings, because of my father and my uncle and my grandfather, etc., etc. Very nice to hear strings live. I'm almost going to bet that's live strings, and in very subtle but very well arranged passage with the strings to this. Obviously it's not wrought with that's not the right word, I'm sorry. It's not rich, I'm sorry, it's morning, first cup of coffee, with layers of harmonies and stuff, and sometimes those single beautiful lines are what it takes to fill in what's already a very well layered piece of music. So there are a lot of different layers going on here, like 3 different guitar, different layers and stuff. The subtleness of the drums is nice because it's just keeping us just in a nice, sauntery kind of rhythm. But I like the textures between the tones of the guitars and the overdubs, and they just kind of lit us up a little bit lightly with some distortion there. So obviously this is almost a 7-minute track, so I'm going to keep going, but I just wanted to break into the fact that composition like this I really enjoy, because there's as simple is not easy, and here's what I mean by that, and I hope nobody takes offense by this, is that they're playing very nice chord patterns and arpeggio, or the way they're picking the guitar and everything, but the trick is the amount of layering that's going on there and making it work without it sounding so, overdone is really a trick with that. And also there is also some keyboard type overdubs, not bells, but synth kind of synth bells kind of stuff going on in the back. So really nice, really actually for me that's kind of a cool way to start a Sunday morning here. Of the distortion I'm hearing, there's an overloaded guitar. It sounds like very light though, meaning it's not punched up into the mix, but it's back there. The blend of that texture and then all the way to the other side of a stringed instrument, which is the strings, brings to me a very unique, there's like a, in the song, now we just heard vocals, but it's not that I don't listen to lyrics. A lot of times I can't hear it well enough, where it is in the mix. In this case, these vocals seem like they were just another instrument in the mix. And generally for the almost year that I've been doing this, for those of you who've been hanging out, you know how I talk about vocalists as being an instrument in the band and not being that separate entity, as in, i.e. the lead singer when I'm listening to tracks. But, the tone of his voice also down in the mix. This is a very lush and sustained piece of work. And what I mean by that is that every note that's being played is being held out. Be it a reverb, they're all like quarter notes. They're not, dotted quarter notes, or they're not just abrupt stops, and then when those notes are being held out, they fill, kind of a complete harmonic arrangement in each instrument. Now, getting each instrument to do that together to make one massive piece, or one piece of work like this, is, like I said earlier, is where the trick is. I did also again notice the violins actually did split off, and there were some harmony arrangements with that, or secondary arrangements with it. First it was single, but then when it loaded up into as the mix got a little more stronger, the drums got a little more stronger, I could swear I could hear a little bit more of that. But I just wanted to bring that up, though, that that difference between their choice of that dark, heavy kind of distortion that I hear and the beauty of the strings. There's kind of that contrary kind of vibe in there, and that really pulls for me. you know, that kind of a fade kind of lets you in a little bit, you know, underneath the sheets, if you would, of the amount of layers that were there. So when they pulled that away, you can hear these distorted, you know, vibrato, like maybe a Rhodes on this side and some synths. And I mean, there were so many layers. The reason why I was doing this was because I was trying to get kind of a little bit more of depth of what was happening at the bottom end there. And I couldn't catch it on that, but just a really round bottom tone to the mix right there. And I didn't know if it was due to a particular instrument that was being performed, or the engineering, or if it happened in mastering and stuff. This was, so this is my first Mogwai. Though through the whole year, though, I've gotten these dropped in, you know, in comments and stuff, but not a lot. But as soon as I said I'm going to try some post-rock, a lot of people really hit me with that. And then yesterday, actually, out on the beach, I had bumped into my neighbor that comes in to town every once in a while. And his name is Amit, and he enlightened me a little bit more about post-rock, and so that really helped me listen a little differently to this. So Amit, thank you very much for that. So that's my story on Stick It To. This was great. I really loved it. I love this. For me, this is the kind of song that you do kind of just chill back, and whatever your thing is, you know, a cup of coffee, a bump, or no, not a bump, a blunt. Ugh, yeah, how could you do a bump and listen to this? Whatever it is, you just kind of sink back into and just kind of chill and stuff, and kind of stare out into the abyss and let this take you on the ride. I just, so many layers on this. This was a lot of layers and stuff. They definitely did not, in my world, in the way I think about sometimes composition, unless it has to do with media, like if it's film, TV, or something like that. I really don't care how many layers I have, as long as the delivery of my music works for the director. Sometimes when I listen to works from bands, when I hear so many intense layers, I just go, do they do this live? And since I have no idea, I'm pretty sure you Mogwai fans can tell me, you know, that have seen them live, how close to the recording do they get when they're on stage. So, all right, guys, I'm going to continue post-rock week this week, but I'm also going to be sprinkling in, there was a time in the about 4 months ago, I was doing 2 a day. So just because of what's, I'm kind of locked in here in my studio doing a job, and I might just all of a sudden just get the urge to maybe do 2 a day because I'm here in the studio and I'm not out bouncing about. All right, guys, thank you very much. You want to buy me a cup of coffee, you know where the link is, down below. Patreon link, down below. Headset link, down below. And most important, the link for Mogwai's Spotify, down below. All right, guys, take care of yourself. We got a new little swell coming in. I'm going to go check that out. All right, see ya. Aloha. All right.